My park is right there. My playground. So before you guys look at this is Gloucester Township money, I'd rather that be addressed before they even do anything with the park. Because they're jeopardizing the kids and the schools right down the street. Alright, I didn't want to broadcast it on here. I just wanted to tell you to yourself. Okay?
I'll tell you something.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Good evening. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence for Nico Casabria, who's a member of our community that passed away this past week after a long battle with an illness. Thank you. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This regular meeting of the Township Council is being held in accordance with the scheduled meetings of the Township Council established and adopted by the Township Council, which schedule designated the time, date, and place of this meeting. Adequate public notice of this meeting has been provided pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. We are using an electronic amplifying recording device in order to obtain a clear and audible record, and we request all those wishing to speak be recognized and state your name and address directly to the microphone. The recording device will be still utilized by the Township Clerk's Office for the preparation of minutes and shall be the official record of the Township Council meetings. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Hutchison.
He's running late.
Mr. Schmidt.
Present.
Mrs. Stubbs. Present. Mr. Winters. Here. Mr. Mignon.
Here.
Mrs. Strato. Here. Mr. Mercado.
Present.
Mr. Lechner. Chief Earl.
Here.
Mr. Carlemere.
Here.
Mr. Cantwell.
Here.
Mr. Cardis.
Here.
We'll now open up the first public portion. This public portion is for agenda items only. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Waive the reading and accept the minutes of regular meeting June 26, 2017 and July 10, 2017. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes, with abstention on July 10th, 2017.
Mrs. Stubbs.
Yes, with the exception of June 26, 2017.
Mrs. Winters. Yes. Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mrs. Strato. Yes. Mr. Mercado.
Yes.
Bid reports, 2017 road improvement program mill and overlay, one new chassis with stand-up right-hand drive, 5-yard wheel loader.
I entertain a motion to accept the bids.
I make that motion. I'll second.
Thank you. On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs. Yes. Mrs. Winters. Yes. Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mrs. Strato. Yes. Mr. Mercado.
Yes. Next, we have our consent agenda. Any council members would like to remove any of the items, please speak up. I would like to remove Resolution 1707-227. Are there any others? I entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda with the amendment of 227.
I make that motion. Second.
On the question, roll call, please.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Mrs. Stubbs. Yes. Mrs. Winters. Yes. Mr. Mignon.
Yes.
Mrs. Strato. Yes. Mr. Mercado.
Yes. We do not have any GTE Gov access. We now open up the second public portion. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Mr. Polidoro.
Good evening, Council. Ray Polidoro, Ariel.
Good evening.
I'm just coming to speak on a follow-up. Mr. Carlemere was going to check on something for me. The question that I had asked at the time simply was the township making a purchase on behalf of the MUA, who has their They're their own entity, their own budget, their own what have you, and certainly can afford to buy the vehicles. Your explanation was a global agreement, but I asked in depth why with what they have, or are we spending with what we have? You were going to get back to me on that.
I don't think I was going to get back to you on that. I thought the issue that you asked me to review was the agreements that deal with the solar and maintenance.
That was the second one, yes, thank you.
I don't recall you asking me to review that specifically. I know you addressed council on that, but I have not. I have the global agreement, but I have not reviewed it.
Okay.
Regarding the...
I'll take the answer on the second one.
I can speak of it. Let me answer that one, and we'll go to the global agreement.
The solar panel maintenance agreements are not any obligation or maintenance on behalf of the schools or the municipality. We talked about the roof, the panels having to be removed. There's no reference to that or obligation imposed in the agreement that I was able to make.
Now, when you say that, that means that it would be our responsibility, not the owner of the panels themselves. It would be at a cost
So
of
I
us.
think you'd have to look at just specifically what the issues are and who's initiating what to determine if there's any responsibility. But the agreement does not reference under any maintenance obligation.
One of the questions that was asked when the discussion began about the solar panels was that question about the roofs. Were all the roofs credible for a length of time before putting these panels in? And you all felt that it was adequate. And a few years later, and the question was asked more than once about the credibility of those roofs and how long those roofs would last. You certainly wouldn't want to put solar panels and the structure on a roof that has to be replaced in a few years. And the schools are already doing that. It just seems that, and I mean, you know, in the land of law, you can spin a word and turn a phrase and make it your own. You know, if the solar panels are an obstruction to a work that must be done, and they're obstructing that work to be done, would that not fall under the realm of maintenance because they're obstructing the work that needs to be done?
Can't answer that.
You're a lawyer, yes you can.
Well, you're making an assumption there that you're talking about structure and is an obstruction, and I don't believe it's an obstruction, but out of context, I can't answer that.
Understood. I mean, because we could be looking, if these panels last as long as they are advertised in 15 years, we could be looking at tens of thousands of dollars in pulling these panels and structures off to do a roof, spending probably $100,000 on a roof, and again, just multiplying and multiplying the cost. And these questions were clearly asked and addressed before when you were still considering that. And I appreciate you following up on that and remembering. So thank you. Have a great week.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Carr.
Joanne Carr, Timber Birch. I just wanted to thank you for making the application, or putting the resolution through tonight for the application for the Robert Marshall House, otherwise known as Memphis Farm. It's been a long time and it needs a lot of help, and this $50,000 grant that we're applying for is from the open space. I think it's from the open space, but it's from the state, so no money is expected from our township. So if we can stabilize that place, it would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
How you doing? My name's John Banco. I live in Ariel. I have a couple pictures here that I wanted to show you. I went to the zoning downstairs to all the people for coding, zoning, and for around housing. And the house next door to mine, and I have a complaint against it, and the people behind us have a complaint, and nobody's doing nothing about it. The police department has a warrant for the guy's arrest, but it's just built up and animals are just coming out of it. And I just wanted you to, I had these pictures and they have them downstairs at the zoning. And I just want to go through them or let you see them or somebody else
Okay, if you can bring them up here, sir. So it's a code enforcement issue. They have high weeds
Yeah,
and
I have
grass.
John Swag,
Okay.
Lieutenant Swag, he's working with me,
Okay.
and they just can't
Oh, all right.
They just can't do nothing with it. Like you said, the guy moved to Woodbury, he rents the place out. He rents the upstairs out, and downstairs, he don't rent out.
How long has this been like this?
Year and a half. The barn's on my property, got hit by a tree, got pushed on my property.
He has tanks there in the back.
Well, they were full of oil, they're drained now. So the tree fell on.
Okay.
And Mrs. Angie has a complaint too. And her husband just passed away, but they want like $1,000 to clean her yard. That's all his problem.
So this is not abandoned. He's still the property owner. He has a tenant that's residing there.
Yes.
So it's a code enforcement issue. You're working with Lieutenant Swack.
Yeah, Lieutenant Swag?
Lieutenant Swack, yes.
Yeah.
Chief, you like to see that?
Yes, please.
You should be
Chief,
chief.
these were, Lieutenant has these too. Yeah, he has the same pictures down at the code. I mean, this is, when you see out there to town.
Yes, Mr. President, I'll look into it. I think the issue could be, the gentleman said there's a warrant for his arrest. That may be some
Okay.
issue that would
Yeah,
happen. But
and they can't find, he told the judge that he fixed it and never showed back up.
Chief, if you and Lieutenant Swack can follow up with us, I'd appreciate it.
Lieutenant only knows that, he knows that's kind of.
I will.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention,
Okay,
sir.
great. Thanks.
We'll make sure Lieutenant Swack contacts you back. Anyone else? Seeing none, close the second public portion.
Mr. Lechner?
I have nothing to comment, thank you.
Chief Earl?
Nothing to comment, thank you.
Mr. Parlamere?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Cantwell?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Cardis?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Hutchison?
Sorry for my tardiness. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Schmidt?
I'd like to thank you for coming and for all your comments. Have a nice evening.
Mrs. Stubbs?
Thank you for coming. Our hearts go out to the Casabrita family, and Nico, but we thank you all for coming.
Mrs. Winters?
I want to thank everyone for coming out, and I would like to congratulate from Gloucester Township Hockey. They had two teams that went up, not this past weekend, long before to Niagara Falls for a tournament. The Beaver Group won the championship there, so they have a banner from Niagara Falls saying that they won, and the cadet team lost in the finals, but they did make it to the finals. So it's just a little more of a mark for Gloucester Township. Nothing else.
Mr. Mignon?
Thank you all for coming, and everybody please stay cool.
Mrs. Strato?
Thank you and have a good week.
Mr. Mercado?
Before I speak, Ms. Shirley, you've been raising your hand. You have a sec. We have a second.
We can't miss.
But you've also been here. We know when we have the second public portion. Ms. Shirley, come on up to the mic.
I just wanted to come up here and say thank you to the person who did the street sweeping for Brittany Woods.
Okay.
It was a fantastic job. He even stopped and said a few words to the kids. They thought the machine was awesome. Thank you, and our streets look really nice. And I also talked to Bill Fagan today. He called me about the playground, and we're on point about that. And I also want to thank the Department of Public Works because they've been with Brittany Woods and the chief and the mayor, and you have too, since we started this. So, Carol and I are working really hard, still diligently. We're really busy. This here free volunteer work is really, really hard. So thank you guys for sticking with us and helping us through all of this. We'll have an anniversary in November. It'll be a year. Would you believe that? We've been at this for almost a year come November 16th. So thank you very much. And make sure you tell Public Works, the guy that did the street sweeping, that he was the best and he was the nicest person. And he did a really good job.
Mrs. Carter, please let the Public Works know that. Thank you.
I'm not kidding. You always think I'm joking.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have that as my comments. Thank you for coming out this evening. Next Tuesday is National Night Out. Chief, what do we got, about 25 stops or more?
Yes, probably close to 30.
Close to 30, okay. So if you have an opportunity, please stop out for National Night Out. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You have a great evening.
You too.